Okay, I officially might be the world's worst Sims 4 builder, but I'm on a mission to try and improve that. So come join me one build at a time whilst I try and get better at building. Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new build video. As you can tell by my cheeky little introduction, I'm on a mission to try and get better at building, and so today we are building a modern home. Now, originally, I planned on making like a modern tiny home or like a modern starter home, but then I was scrolling for inspiration and I found a particular picture, and I was like, you know what, I want to try and replicate that. So yeah, I got this inspiration just from having a little Google, to be honest. I literally just Googled Sims 4 modern homes because sometimes I do like looking at actual in real life houses, but I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I do like looking at just like other people's builds to get inspiration because I just think I'm never gonna do it as good of a job as you, but I want to give it a go. So yeah, I did give it a go. I'm not gonna lie, the outside took me a while to work out because from the picture I was like I kept trying to work out like the dimensions of how they've done it, and I couldn't figure it out for a really, really long time, but I actually feel like this house looks pretty good from the outside. From the inside, I also think it looks pretty good too. I definitely, with my decorating themes, I always go for functionality. I literally just had to redo this because I couldn't say functionality. Anyway, yeah, so I always think about how I play the game, and honestly, as much as I really like the way that clutter looks within the Sims 4 like homes, I also find it ridiculous. I find it ridiculous when I'm playing, if that makes sense, because normally there's always clutter getting in my way, or like it's just too much for me when I'm playing, like it overstimulates my brain. So that's why I always go a bit minimalistic with the clutter, in case anybody's curious. But I feel like this house has like the perfect level of like, it looks cute, but it's also like practical and functional. Anyway, it's a 2-bedroom home, so it's not like a massive house. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. I normally don't do 1 bathroom for my like Sims because I find that 1 bathroom, particularly if you're playing with more than like a couple of Sims, like even if you're just playing with 3, sometimes I find just having the 1 is a little stressful and not great. But in this particular case, I don't know, I think it probably would work because it's like 2 kids and 2 adults that I kind of built it for, but I have no idea. I will say, because in my last build that I made, I definitely tried to make it base game appropriate. This is not base game. I'm really sorry. Like, this is not base game. I did think about it for like 2 seconds and then quickly changed my mind, but I did try and use a lot of the new items that we got as well within the update, although on reflection I think I only used the windows and the door. This voiceover is going really badly today. I've had to like stop and restart 100 times. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm filming this later at night, which I don't normally do. I normally do all my voiceovers in the morning because I always find my mind's a bit clearer. Hence why I'm now like stuttering and stumbling, because I'm trying to do this new challenge where I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to start like to read every single day, because I'm just curious to see if it makes me more productive in my day, if it sets up my day differently by doing it. It sounds dumb, but I saw somebody on YouTube do it, and I thought, do you know what, I want to give it a go, just because I'm just curious. Anyway, so yeah, I'm doing that at the moment, but it does also mean that I've been up since 5 a.m, and it's like kind of 8:45, which is like, it's early, okay, but I am a grandma, so I am in bed by like 10, so, you know, I am in bed fairly early. Anyway, what do I normally talk about within these voiceovers? I do normally try and talk about the build for a little bit, so like, let's give it a go. Yeah, like I said, I did use quite a few packs, so I'm really sorry if you don't have too many. Having said that, I feel like the packs that I feel like I didn't use too much of just one pack, if that makes sense. So like, you could probably replace some of the stuff, you know, if you don't have all the packs. There is a really cool feature. By the way, I'd already uploaded this on the gallery, so it's already uploaded. I'm really good at saying this is available for you on the gallery. I'm really bad at actually uploading it on the gallery, but this one is, because I've already uploaded it. Anyway, if you didn't know this, on the gallery there is a feature which says, like, which basically shows you the items that is used from each pack. So if you're either like, you know, if there's either a build and that you've got like 3 packs in there and you don't have one of them, you can kind of see if it's like, you know, if it's majorly going to impact the build or not. Because sometimes I will like look at a house and I've got like 3 out of 4 packs and I'm like, oh, that's so annoying, that house would have been perfect. But then when I actually click on the items that the creator used from like the 4th pack, I'm like, oh, they use stairs, for example. I can just replace the stairs. So then I can still download the build. I find this a lot with, I think it's the patio stuff pack, particularly when I'm downloading like spas, or like even if I am like downloading modern homes, because I actually find that the patio pack gets used a lot for that, which makes sense. And so sometimes I can get away with it and I'll just replace the items because it's like outdoor furniture, or like sometimes I can't and I have to move on and accept my loss. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what else I was saying. Oh, this house does also have an office. I always try and incorporate some form of like office or activity building room within my like builds if I like had the space, because I find that I try and do this in a house because I feel like there is a lot of like hobbies and skills that you can build up in The Sims that you kind of also need to build up in The Sims. So I feel like an office is kind of an important room. So anyway, I always try and include that. But the reason that I wanted to do this was because I obviously did the stairs. I don't like plain stairs nowadays. I like to give them a little curve, a little edge. But I put the office in because I was trying to work out spacing, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to actually need to use this office as like a living room or a dining room or something like that, or whether I can have it as an office. So for a little while, the downstairs was me like trying to make sure that everything worked in terms of layout and like it all like could fit. I kind of did a bit more of like an open plan living room and kitchen and dining area, which I guess a modern home actually is quite modern to be. Modern home is quite open, is what I meant to say then. So I guess it works for this house, actually. I think it works pretty good. This was a moment where I was like, this house is extremely black and white. Like, it is extremely monochrome. So this was the moment where I was like, I need to add a little bit of colour. And I love this, like, bluey green colour at the minute. Like, genuinely, if I could have it for the kitchen that we have right now, I would, but I haven't quite persuaded my mum yet that that's the direction we should go in. My mum's like, it's a fad and it will go out of fashion, and I'm like, no, it's what we need colour. But anyway, I also like if you haven't watched some of my other videos, you probably won't know this, but I love green. The last probably 3-4 years now, obsessed with green. When I was like a child, when I was younger, like when I say a child, when I was a toddler, my favourite colour was orange. And then I did the traditional thing of being obsessed with pink. And then I pretty much from the age of maybe 8, 9, I liked purple, and I liked all shades of purple. I have an accent wall in my room, so at the minute it's green, but it used to be quite a dark shade of purple. I never went a lilac. A what? A lilac. I always went quite dark. I like the dark colours. But yeah, so I went for a dark shade of purple, and then I think I went grey. Did I go grey? Yeah, I think I went grey for a while. And I'm not gonna lie, the grey was boring, and it kind of just made me sad. So then I went green. And I've actually been obsessed with green, and I've not got off it. Yeah. I love it. I've got a couple of different shades of green in my room right now, but I love it. It's great. If I had the opportunity, I would completely make over my room, because a lot of my furniture and stuff is from when I was a teenager, but obviously I'm not a teenager anymore, unfortunately. As much as I still joke that I'm a teenage girl in my 20s, I am in my 20s, which is also disgusting. I also feel ever since I've turned 21, I can't say, like, I don't know, when you're 20, I feel like you can kind of still get away with, like, saying that you're 20, but 21, like, you're properly in your 20s, you know, it's a sad time. I do sometimes wonder, I don't have many videos from, like, the first round of me doing YouTube, so I'd be interested to know whether any of you have been around for that length of time, because it's funny, I went down, like, memory lane the other week, and I was, like, just watching some old videos, and I was, like, talking about the stress of GCSEs, and I was talking about stress of A-levels, and I was also kind of low-key talking about drama in my friendship group, and I was thinking, I can't believe I actually put that on the internet. I mean, it was nothing, like, I didn't reveal, like, anything scandalous. It wasn't anything, like, that interesting, but it's also really interesting. I also think it's really fascinating because during that time I was very, particularly, I think just before I took a break, I was, like, going through a bit of burnout. I was very anxious. Like, I was going through a bit of a bad place, if I'm being honest. And it's kind of like, it is not nice in one way to look back and be like, I'm in a much better place now, which is good, which is great. I would say a much better place, but also a very different place, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I've definitely grown in the last however many years, which is a good thing. Anyway, I do also normally talk in my voiceovers. Also, by the way, I do apologise that this is another voiceover. Like I said, I do try and do a mixture of voiceover and gameplays, but I'm worried at the minute that I've gone a bit too voiceover heavy. So let me know if you want, like, another random genetics challenge, or, like, oh my god, my voice just cracked, or another challenge that does actually involve me speaking. I struggle with builds because they take me such a long time, so it's like an hour and a half's worth of footage, so I would find it really hard, probably too hard to edit. I'm too indecisive, I think, for that. Maybe when I get better at building, maybe, we will reevaluate, but for now, yeah, it's not happening. Anyway, yeah, let me know if you can think of a challenge that I could just talk over versus a voiceover. I mean, I probably could do it for any challenge, I suppose, but anyway, let me know what you guys want to see. I always say it anyway, but yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I normally talk about what sort of, like, things I was watching during the builds. I'm trying to think, what was I watching? I'm obsessed with watching vegan families on YouTube. This is real niche. I'm not a vegan, because unfortunately for me, like, I just can't, because of issues, I guess. But I find veganism and, like, kind of the environmental and, like, sustainability side of things so interesting. So I love watching it, and I also kind of like watching it in one way, but then in another way I'm like, sometimes I find, I don't know, anyway, I don't want to get into it. I'm like dipping into dangerous territory there, and I'm like, no, let's circle back around. But anyway, so I was watching them. They're currently on a ski holiday, I think. I don't know, I've never been skiing. I also don't think I ever will. It's not my sort of thing, I think. Yeah, it's not my sort of thing. At all. And then I'm currently watching a video about football. I keep going on about football. I'm really sorry if you're not really a sporty person or a football person. And I have to admit, I wasn't really a football person up until, like, 3 years ago. And then, like, I watched the women's Euros and it kind of changed my life completely. And then I started supporting a team and not really looked back. But yeah, so they talk about it a little bit in my videos. I do apologise, but it is my other passion in life. That and history and Sims, basically. But yeah, it's funny. I was saying that actually to my boyfriend when I was talking to him last night. But yeah, so I'm watching a video about specifically football stadium hospitality, which I'm obsessed with because I've done hospitality once, but that was for a concert and not, like, football. And I'm gonna be honest, was not worth the money. I did it when I went to go see Olivia Rodrigo. And yeah, it just was not worth the money, if I'm being honest, because you didn't get let in that much earlier. Like, we were under the impression you got let in a lot earlier than what you did. So then you actually didn't have that much time to, like, eat your food before, like, the general, like, people came in. So you kind of didn't really get much benefit to actually like getting hospitality. And the second thing was that we had like the hospitality tickets, but we ended up having to go the standing ones. But we were under the impression it was VIP. Now, I think this was actually just us interpreting it wrong. Although it did say on the hospitality tickets that they were like, I don't know, like they were like premium standing. So I don't know whether it was just that we misinterpreted it or whether it wasn't really explained very well. Either way, it actually wasn't. It was like general admission. But the problem is, guys, I am very short. I'm like 4'10", so I'm very short, which is a problem. So we ended up managing to somehow swap the standing tickets, the seats, which was great. Don't know how we managed this. This is the second time, by the way, I've managed to like secure like either an upgrade or seats or something in this situation. So I don't know what that says about me, but there you go. Anyway, the seats, I'm gonna be honest, were pretty rubbish. Like they were like nosebleeds really, but I think I would have saw a lot more than if I was standing. So yeah, and also it was a great concert. Genuinely like one of my favourites. I was very lucky with the concerts that I saw last year. Anyway, that was random. Well, I'm sure I watched something else. I watched a guy walk 100,000 steps in a day, and I was like, wow. Because at the minute I'm on a little bit of a goal of trying to just do the 10,000 steps, and like, because last year I got really into it, and then I hit a bit of the slump come September. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, my brain was in a weird funk for a little while. And we were getting our bathroom done, and I don't know, I just like stopped doing 10,000 steps, and it was probably the first time in like a few years that I stopped doing it, and I kind of just felt a bit meh about it. Anyway, so a whole new year, new me, and I was like, let's get back into it again. And I've kind of tried to create a list of hobbies that I want to do in 2025 and like stick to it. Not hobbies, habits. A list of habits that I want to try and stick to in 2025. And thus far is going really well. I took a little bit of a break when I went away last week, which I think I already spoke about in my video. It was great. We had a great time walking. Did a lot of walking with the dog on the beach, and it was great. I mean, it was also in England, so like the weather was actually good. Like we didn't get rain, which is rare. We got a little bit of sun. I mean, the last night before coming home was bitter. Like the wind was so bad, but thankfully it's the last night, so at that point we didn't really care. you know, like we're coming out of it, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I feel like I've been rambling a lot. Sometimes I do struggle with voiceovers a little bit, can't lie, but I actually feel like this one's been easy today. I clearly just had a lot to say. I had a lot to waffle about. But yeah, so I'm really happy with the way that this build came out. Let me know if you actually end up using it for any of your Sims. I do always try and do a house that's like fit enough for like a family of 3 or 4, just because I feel like that's kind of the most common like family size in The Sims, you know. But yeah, let me know. Also, let me know what you think. Like, part of me doing this series is an opportunity for you guys to give me some constructive criticism. So do let me know what you guys think. Anyway, we are coming near the end. So like I said, do leave a lovely comment. Let me know what kind of style of house you want me to do next, because I would be very intrigued to like do something else. Please do leave a like, go subscribe if you haven't already. I'm on a goal to try and reach 500 subscribers. I don't want to seem like a beg. I don't want to seem like I'm begging you guys, but like if you could subscribe, that would be lovely. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and like I said, I hope to see you all in the next one. So yeah, bye guys.